Hello, buenas noches, buenas tardes, buenos dias, wherever you are. Hey, so glad that y'all could join me again on a Wednesday night, going live here. If you are here, say hello in the chat. I see, I see a few of us are here. Um, I'm very excited about tonight's conversation. Um, Last week, if you were here, I talked about three big mindset shifts that I had to make in order to really finally be happy. Um, I'd spent I'd spent like so many years not being happy, not having peace. And so we talked about that last week. This week, y'all are going to get to hear from someone else about their journey to happiness and reclaiming their happiness, their life, their selves. And I'm really excited for y'all to hear from her. Um, but before we jump into there, I need to introduce myself. If you are new, welcome. Very happy you are here. Welcome to the Picky Girl Nation. That's what we call the folks who watch this channel. This channel is Picky Girl Travels the World, and that's me. My name is Adelia Aborishade. I am coming to you live from Mexico City, my home of 4 years. I am a financial educator and a relocation specialist, and I love helping Black women gain financial confidence so that they can do whatever their heart desires, which includes things like moving abroad and traveling the world. So on this channel, we talk about money. We talk about travel. We talk about living outside of our home country. So, if any of those things are of interest to you, you have found your people. You should absolutely subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. That way, you know when I'm going live like this, which I typically do on Wednesday evenings around 7 p.m. Eastern. But it'll also notify you when I upload a new video. Okay. Um, and if you're watching this on the replay, hey, you're welcome as well. Um, I assume everybody knows this, but you know how when you don't talk about, like, I assume people know things, so I don't always mention it. So for those who may not know, myself, along with Ivana Robinson, host um, a coaching and cultural retreat called Reclaim the Retreat. It is a place, a space for women and femmes who are trying to reclaim their lives, their happiness, and their peace. Why am I telling you this? Because my guest tonight was one of the inaugural reclaimers who joined Ivana and I in El Salvador back in March. So, if I can remember what I'm doing, I will bring Lisa on. Hello, Lisa. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi, thanks. Glad to be here.
I am so happy that you are here. I love your what are we calling these? Your handle, Vibracious Life, because like before I met you, vibracious was not a word to me. But after spending a week with you in El Salvador, like if there is one word that describes Lisa, it is vibracious. So I'm so glad you're here. Um, I was just talking about that we initially, I guess we met in person at Reclaiming the Retreat in March 2023 in El Salvador. Um, and it's been like 3 months since then. And so wanted to check in with you, see how you were doing, and also have you share a little bit about like I don't know, like how your life has changed, what your experience was at the retreat. Now, I am curious. Um, what, like, how did you end up attending Reclaim?
So I was watching, I'm sure everyone here knows, Stephanie Perry was interviewing you and Ivana. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and I guess I've been following Stephanie for, I think, right before Exodus Summit last year. So I've really, really been getting that nudge to just leave the country. I really am wanting to move abroad as soon as possible. But I was watching it, and so although I don't feel like I have a very stressful job, I hadn't taken a vacation. I had all this vacation time built up, and you all were talking about reclaiming your life. And I was going through a divorce, and that's finally final. And I was just like, oh my goodness, this is something that's pulling towards me. I feel like Reclaim the Retreat chose me, because the same day that I was thinking, oh man, this just sounds fantastic, when you guys were talking about it, you also said, well, we're going to sponsor someone on the retreat, and you just have to get in, answer a question. And I did it like right then on the spot, and I just poured from my heart, and it was all real, and I ended up winning that spot, and I am so grateful.
I I just told Ivana the other day, because you don't know this, but it was like as many of y'all know, I used to be a teacher. So, like we're having this contest because Stephanie and her community, the Vacarians, gifted a spot at the retreat. And so Ivana and I had put together, like, okay, so how are we going to decide to give this away? Ivana came up with the questions. And so I came up with a scoring rubric. And there were two finalists, exact same scores, and we went back and forth and back and forth. And this is in the middle of me helping Rashida clean out her storage unit. I'm trying to
Yeah.
find time to meet with Ivana so we can go through the submissions, and we just couldn't decide. We couldn't decide. We finally put our heads together with Stephanie, and you ended up getting the spot. And I was just telling Ivana the other day, like, could you imagine anybody else getting that spot? Like, it very much feels like it was meant for you. So when you say that Reclaim chose you, I think maybe it did.
I think you're right. My life is definitely changed so much in these few months. I'm really shocked. But when you start to choose yourself first, things happen really quickly.
Okay. So let's back up a little bit. Um,
Mhm.
as you said that you had found Stephanie around the time of Exodus Summit. So I assume that that was a big change for you. This thought of, I want to leave the U.S.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I got married. I had this whirlwind romance, and I got married in 2019 after 3 months of dating. Um, then I had a stroke 3 months into being married, and the husband that I had did not sign up for that, and so the marriage did not work out because I couldn't keep doing for him. So that's how that all ended. So fast forward to 2020, and we're in a pandemic. So we were still living in the same house and everything, and I was just like, this is just not working. I need to do something differently. And I started looking for jobs in other states. I didn't know where I wanted to go. I ended up going to Dallas because I got this offer at Brinks for a project management position, and I was in Chicago with my husband. And it just turned out to be one of the best choices I could have possibly made for myself. It allowed me to just be alone. It allowed me to just kind of just heal from that. And I wanted more. I'm like, Texas isn't enough. I think I want to move out of the country. So I started looking for YouTube channels, and I found a lady named Stephanie Sinclair. Now, she actually bought a home in Italy, and I think her page recommended Stephanie's page. And then I went down the rabbit hole because, Stephanie's got all these wonderful videos. Ended up following Rashida and you and Miles and Coffee and so many different people that have came from Exodus Summit and from Stephanie just saying, hey, I took some time off and this is what happened in my life. And all of these women that she's changing their lives. But with the divorce, with COVID, and the money I was making during COVID, I was paying my daughter's bills because she was a bartender, head bartender at forgot the name of the hotel in Ace Hotel Chicago. They cut all of that out. She wasn't making no money. I had to help my baby until they started getting the what is it called, the unemployment or something. So I wasn't thinking that me and my husband were going to split up, but all of a sudden I don't have any money saved and I'm getting a divorce. So I had to kind of start over. So I promised myself that I would teach myself financial literacy. And I've been making those steps to do so.
Okay. So you had a lot of like change going on in your life uh prior to attending the retreat. Um Now I'm curious, was there something particular about the retreat that made you think like, I think this is something I need to do?
Well, I went on a retreat in 2017. I went to Bali and it was very life changing. And I went to Bali because I was having some health issues back then. Like I had blood pressure and I wanted to find a way to lower it without, medication. So Bali was kind of a part of that. I started doing yoga and meditating. And so I didn't realize that I had started stressing myself out again. And so by the time the retreat came, I'm like, I haven't taken a vacation. I My company pays for massages. I don't take them. I don't get the massages. I'm not taking advantage of anything. I'm like, I can't stay on this path. I was losing my hair. Now my hair is growing back. I don't know if you remember, but
I know. I was checking that out.
look, the
I was
hair is
checking
growing
that
back. I
out.
think relieving all of that stress has really, really helped so much. You think about when people say, stress causes hair loss and things like that, and you like, I don't know about that. But now I know that that's absolutely true because now my hair is thriving. I'm waiting to have a little afro in a couple of months.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So yeah, it seems like you definitely, I think sometimes we underestimate the power of something like a retreat. Having this time away from your regular life, where you can be selfish and you can focus completely on yourself and your healing. I think we sometimes underestimate the impact of that. Um, but I think it's really, really important. I think it falls right in line with what Stephanie talks about taking time off. Like, you got to have time to be alone with yourself, alone with your thoughts. You got to have that space to sort of figure out, like, is this the life I want to keep living? How do I want to change it? Um, so I'm curious. Um, you were thinking about attending the retreat. You find out that there is going to be a sponsored spot. You apply, and then you hear that it's going to be you. What was that like?
That was I cried. I cried and I just kept looking at the email like, no, no way. No way, it's not me. And then you and Ivana did a quick little video on Instagram saying that I won. And I was just like, all right, I'm listening, God. I know you're pushing me in that path. I receive it, because I wasn't in the place financially to pay for that retreat. I mean, I'm in save mode right now, but I couldn't have paid for it, and it changed my life. It felt so good. I just kept crying, and my sister's here with me. I'm with my sister. I'm house hacking. That's how I'm saving money now. It's me and my sister and my nephew, and we split everything, and it's great. And I have this whole area. So my bedroom is right off of this beautiful sunroom, but it's a screen porch. and so we have our own area, so it works out. But I just cried and couldn't believe it, and I told everybody. I told people at work, and they were just like, "All right, well, you enjoy that," and it was something that my soul needed. It was something my soul needed. It really was.
Okay. Now, y'all notice I am not the one saying that our retreat changed Lisa's life. Lisa keeps saying that. So Lisa, tell us, how did Reclaim change your life?
Well, it forced me to see that all I was doing was basically working and, getting off work, maybe watching a little TV or something like that. I wasn't truly resting, you know? So I found ways to rest. By like this screen porch, all of this wasn't out here before Reclaim. I went and got some things out of my storage. I'm like, let me make this space beautiful so I can embrace ease while I'm at home. So I started thinking about ways of how I can embrace ease while I'm home. I'm in IT, so I used to work 8 hours straight through with no break, kind of, 15 minutes here or there. Now, instead, I take an hour in the middle of my day, and I may come sit out here. I may go for a walk, but finding ways to embrace ease at home until I can move abroad or retire.
And why is it so important for you to embrace ease?
It's important for everybody to embrace ease. I look. I work in IT, so it's not like I said. I don't feel like my job is stressful. Like I have a quota that I meet. Sometimes do it in 2 or 3 hours. Other times it may take me almost all day, but it's just ease is love, ease is God. Seriously, because when you embrace ease, it just fills your heart, and I wasn't getting any of that. I was always just kind of on edge, and I work from home, and there were times when I was like rushing. Oh, like let me hurry up and get back and take care of this. What am I rushing for? I work at home. Nobody's clocking me. What are you doing? But I think that the capitalism and it's just got me to the point where I was just this workhorse, you know.
I think there are a lot of folks. Now, you mentioned you work from home, you have a remote job. I feel like there are a lot of people who think once I get this remote job, that's going to fix everything. And would you say that that is accurate?
It's not. It's better than having to go to commute. I do work for a really good company that they like I was saying, like my company pays for massages. My company gives us $2,000 a year, and we can use that. I've used it so far for carpet cleaning. You can use it for cleaning your home, massages, pet care, adult care. Whatever you want to use it for. I'm only half there, so I still have another $1,000 to use. But I was just like, my company pays massages and I'm not even using them. So now, because of you, Adelia, because she was like, why are you not using that?
Lisa was like, I'd really like to have time to have a massage. And then, you know, I've never had a job with any kind of perks. And so she just casually mentions, my job provides blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, so they will pay. Why are we not doing this?
Right. I
I
know.
could not understand it.
Take advantage of what is out there. I have wonderful insurance. I have a great therapist that I started with this year. She's fantastic, a sister that's in Atlanta, and it's been wonderful. So, having a remote job does well. Mine is a remote USA, so I can go around the USA as much as I want. If I move to another country, I'll have to get permission, but I don't think it would be that difficult to do that. But from being at Reclaim the Retreat and around you ladies, I don't want to work a remote job when I finally move abroad. I am going to either so my line is so we get bonuses soon. By the time I get a bonus next year, which would be September, I will be either taking a full year sabbatical or I'll be done with working for another company and I'll just have to start another business. I've had other businesses, I've had Airbnbs. I'm not trying to be anybody's landlord. It was awful. I did. Some people might love it. I didn't like it. Maybe if you're a homeowner and you rent it out while you're traveling, that's different. But I was doing rental arbitrage. So I was working with like a company in Dallas and I was leasing apartments that way. And it just wasn't right for me. Um, so there are advantages to having a remote job, but I don't think I want to work for anybody once I get to a certain point. So thank you for your investing challenge. I've been investing in some index funds and I've done a couple of other things because I think the AI is about to pop off like ridiculous. So I've been putting some money into that too. Um,
Okay.
but there are good things about remote work, but it's not going to solve all your problems. It's still work,
It's
you
still
know.
work. And what I'm hearing you say is a lot of the habits we've developed under capitalism in a traditional work environment, a lot of times we take those with us even when we're working remotely. So you still have to like take some time for yourself, uh, carve out, you know, time for the things that matter to you, because you can still be sucked into hustle culture while you're, a digital nomad working remotely. Like, that one change doesn't fix everything.
No, it does help not being chained to an office. But I mean, I had to really get clear on what I wanted. And I'm like, do I want to be? Because I was going to move to Mexico City, and because we have an office in Mexico City, and I knew that would have been an easy transition. And I'm like, do I want to do this when I want either a year sabbatical at least, or I don't want to have to go back to anybody's job. So it's just not for me. Some people probably like thrive in that and being able to work remotely. They'd be great, but I don't want that to be my days.
I i here's the thing. I think it's about finding what feels right for you, what's a good fit. um because I've been thinking about recently for myself. There have been many times in my life where I was going toward something related to work, some achievement, really, when you get down into it, because I felt like that's what I was supposed to do. But there was always a part of me that was kind of like, oh, like, I don't really want this. But I ignored that part. And so, like you said, like, oh, I could just move there and I could work in Mexico City, that sort of thing. But what you really want is not to work at all.
Mm-mm. Not at all. And
So,
so, and another thing, like I know I mentioned that I had a stroke when we were in El Salvador, and it was hot, 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 hot. I was, I felt like I wasn't, vibracious. I came up with that years ago. I mean, that's like, I felt like I wasn't my vivacious, energetic, vibrant self. So I started Vibracious Life, and it's supposed to be like an accountability for me changing my life. But I've been reclaiming my health, so I've decided that, I'm just getting back into, I've already gotten back into juicing and just eating healthier, and I feel much better. I lost 20 pounds. I don't know if you can tell, but I've lost 20 pounds since we were in El
uh,
Salvador.
yeah, no,
But
we've
yeah,
noticed you. You look incredible. Like, what I tell y'all, she is like a poster child for this. I love it. I love it.
yeah, it forced me to say, man, what is important for you, Lisa? So it's like my health was important. That wasn't even on my list for all the activities that we did. I can't remember the name of them, but remember, I had to change that to I need to reclaim my
Okay.
health because I was
I
tired all the
okay.
time.
I was not gonna put your business out here in the streets, but since you brought it up, because you just said, like, I had to figure out what I wanted, and I was going to follow that up with a question where, like, okay, so what did you want? What Lisa's talking about is, initially at the beginning of the retreat, she had her list of things she wanted, and tell the people about that list.
It was everybody else. It didn't have anything to do with what I wanted. It was pleasing everyone else. My nephew has an autoimmune disease, so I initially came back here to Atlanta to be with my sister, not just to, help financially, but also to help with my nephew. So everything was around helping my family, helping my daughter, do for this person, do for that person, and none of it had anything to do with me. Like
Nope.
I was second, I was third. I wasn't even second.
I don't even know if you were on that list.
I don't think it
Honestly,
was.
I don't think you were. And I gave her a little nudge. like I gave Lisa permission to change her mind. And on her own, Lisa really did some thinking and some soul searching and kind of revisited that and came back with some new things, as you've mentioned, your health, you know, other things. So, so yeah, and I think there are so many of us because I know I spent a long time in my own life putting everybody and their needs before mine. That is why when we were on Stephanie's channel that day, we were talking about selfish season.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know I'm always going to tell you to pick you over everybody. I don't care about the children, the grandchildren, the mom and the daddy. You got to pick you.
Mm-hmm.
Because do you think you could have continued living your life in the way that you had been?
No. And you could see it physically. I mean, if I put up a picture of me before I went on that retreat, and a picture of me now, you would be like, oh yeah, I can see the change. I had a physical transformation at the retreat. Like, and I'll just tell it. We were, it was hot. I had this wig on. I got out of that wig and I haven't put it back on since. I was just like, I'm just over it. I'm not doing it anymore. And so what's funny is when I start to embrace my hair, I shaved my head and I went and saw a dermatologist, and now my hair is thriving. And it's probably because I was not loving it and I just kept putting wigs on top of it because I was in corporate America, and you get on your meetings, your Zoom calls, you throw your wig on. I don't do that no more. I'm not worried about it. I'm like, whatever. This is what y'all gonna get.
I love that. I love that because that's the energy that I'm moving through this world, right? Y'all gonna get what you gonna get.
That's it.
I just thought I saw a comment here. Okay, so um okay, because we keep talking about the retreat. As I mentioned, Ivana and I host the retreat. It is a week long, and the name really says it all as far as what it is we want, the transformation we want y'all to have as part of it. And you've mentioned you've had a physical transformation. You're in the process of reclaiming your health. Um, and it there were the things we planned as part of the retreat, but you tell me if I'm right here, but being in that space with other folks who are also, working on some things, changing some things, that kind of like opens you up and gets you, looking internally and assessing things that maybe you didn't even realize were on the list or on the plate. Am
Yeah.
I close? Am I
You're
right?
absolutely right. And I've actually made like me and Sharice are we're good. We're like accountability partners. So, you also make these wonderful connections with these women who are like minded, and it's just life changing and beautiful. Like things that I'm doing now, I probably would not have done if it wasn't for the retreat. Like Friday, I took a day off, and and my company also lets us take mental health days. So I wasn't taking advantage of that either. So I'm taking a vacation. And so in Atlanta, you can get a resort pass. It's probably like this in a lot of cities. And hang out at like a rooftop or whatever for a day for like $50. So me and a friend of mine are doing that on Friday. And then I get a week off. So we shut down the business for a week and for July 4th and Christmas. So I'll be off for a week. and I'm just going to relax. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to finish reading Rest is Resistance, maybe a couple of other things, but I'm just going to chill out.
I love it. I love it. I love that. Okay, you mentioned that because we talked a little bit about you wanting to move abroad, leaving a relationship that was not serving you, was probably very detrimental, from what I know, and you weren't in the financial situation that you wanted to be in because the pandemic, helping your daughter, that sort of thing. So can you talk a little bit about what some of those financial goals are
Yeah.
were?
Yeah. So I was in Omaha. That's where my best friend was when I just was. I was literally the money that was coming in. I had more money going out, and I'm like, I can't keep doing this. This is just not working for me. So I'm like, all right, let me make a decision. Now I decided because I was $70,000 in debt. I decided to file a Chapter 7, and with the divorce, it just was really difficult. I'm not telling anyone else to do that because you got to start over, and it really does ruin your credit. But if I'm gonna be abroad, I really don't care because the other country's not gonna worry about that. I got rid of my car, I got rid of everything, and then I downsized, and now I'm here with my sister. So now my my share is probably $800 when I was spending about $3,000 when I was out on my own. So now I am saving $1,500 a month, and that's going toward me my sabbatical and or fire. So
Okay.
what I decided to do was not just saving, but I want to learn about money. I didn't know how to invest. I Fidelity has all these great classes. I took Adelia's get started investing challenge and made my first investments. It's been great. Um, and I just anything that I can get on my hands on as far as finances go, I mean, I'm just gonna, I just kind of take it all in, and I've just been implementing it in my life, and it feels really, really good to see that money grow because I didn't have that. I started from zero after the pandemic, and now I think I'm sitting at about 10K. That's nowhere near what I need to go on a full year sabbatical, but I mean, I'll get a bonus and things like that, and it'll be. I should be where I need to be next September, next October.
You have a plan
I have a plan.
and you're working the plan.
Yeah.
I mean, like, um, oh, I just had the question and then it left my brain. Oh, you said fire. Uh, what was it? Maybe 2, 3 weeks ago, um, I shared my fire story here. And, um, because I kind of accidentally fired. But I'm making this point because y'all know black don't crack. So I know y'all can't tell that Lisa is over 50. Okay. And because as we were in El Salvador, our tour guide, like Lisa's the one up dancing at the club, shutting down the bar, and they're like, "What? She's she's over 50." So I know you can't tell that looking at her, but I know there's a lot of folks who think like it's too late for me. I can't make substantial changes to my financial situation. It's too late for me to learn about money. It's too late for me to start investing. And what do you have to say to people who think that way, Lisa?
I say that it's never too late. It is never too late. I mean, yeah, you won't have the advantages of someone maybe who started investing 20 years ago, but you can still make some wise investments and make your golden years your best years. Yeah, it's I've done it, and I even taught like a really really quick little class at work. Like I was trying to get people to invest their money and use a 401k because my company and people gonna be like, I know y'all gonna be mad at me because of all of these perks that my company has, and I'm
I
like,
know, because wait, we every time we'd have a conversation in El Salvador, Lisa would be like, you know what? My company does X, Y, and Z. And I'm thinking, well, who the hell do you work for? Like, what?
It's okay. I work for LinkedIn. People know that LinkedIn is a really great company. But and they give me, we get part of my salary is Microsoft stock because Microsoft owns them. But I forgot what I was gonna say. It don't matter. But
Oh,
yeah,
you
it
started the thing at work about the little class about the
oh
401k.
yeah, because with the 401k, they match 50% and invest immediately. So that's a great thing for someone over 50 because if you can contribute and they're matching 50%, if you contribute 10 grand a year, you're getting 15,000 back. And then and when you're 59 and a half, you got all that money. And that's not that far from now. That's 6 years.
Now, can I take credit for you hosting this class at work?
Yes, you
Okay.
can.
Okay. I'm gonna have my Stephanie Perry moment where I take some credit. Lisa mentioned that she did my Get Started Investing challenge. Um, and so if from spending 6 days with me, Lisa went from not really investing, would you say, to hosting a class at work, hipping people to the benefits of their 401k. Yeah, I'm gonna take all the credit for that.
Yeah, because I mean, I can't remember what company I work for, but you're happy. You're lucky if you get a 3% match. 50% best immediately. Come on now, it's fantastic. So I'm taking advantage of all that, and I do realistically think if I just gave it probably 2.5, maybe 3 more years, I would be in a really great position. But right now, I have a plan. I'm working on it. I would really love to take a full sabbatical, but to me, it would probably be best to just be able to retire and then just enjoy the rest of my time. So that'll be closer to me being 59, but I got to take a year off to just do me and just to be.
And I was gonna ask you a question about uh, what made you decide to participate in the challenge.
Um, because because I have the Fidelity account and part of my salary was in stocks. I'm like, you know what? I need to learn about this. Why don't I know what I'm doing? You're sitting there and you get your you can log on and you're looking at your portfolio, and I had no idea what I was looking at. So I'm like, I need to learn what this is. I didn't even know the difference. I have a cash management account now, so when I you don't have to worry about the fees when you're overseas. And then I also have the brokerage account, and so I didn't even know there was a difference between all of those. So I needed to know. I mean, what am I doing? It's like, all right, well, you're in a position now where you don't have hardly any money saved. You didn't help your daughter. You getting divorced. So you starting from scratch. And that was okay. Reclaim made me see that it was okay to start from scratch. There's nothing wrong with that. You know,
Absolutely.
that
Absolutely. Okay, so we're take a little time out here. I saw, where was the comment? Hold on. So I
and somebody
started.
said they sending their resume to LinkedIn now.
I don't blame y'all. Okay. Why are Delia and Ivana toying with us? They can just give us the date of the 2024 retreat info when it drops, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So you're hearing how Reclaim has changed, literally changed Lisa's life. If this sounds like, hey, I want some of that, you can get on the wait list right now. Okay, I'm not. Haha. Okay, you can get on the wait list right now. And I think I said this last week. We are getting ready to release the dates and the locations for 2024. The people on the wait list will get that information first. I suspect it won't make it off the wait list. So, like the people on the wait list get first dibs. If you want to be the first to know where we're going in 2024, what are the dates, um, you need to go to reclaimtheretreat.com, put in your name, your email, so that you will be the first to get that information. Okay. Um, if you, like Lisa, and a lot of us, uh, particularly Black women, all of the data, all of the statistics show we are the least knowledgeable about investing. We have the least amount invested, which is part of the reason I started doing this challenge, because I wanted to change that. Because if you were here for the fire episode, if it was not for investing, I would not be here right now, living this life of ease in the way that I am. So I want that for other Black women. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, there is a challenge starting July 16th. You can get all the information about it at getstartedinvestingchallenge.com. Okay. Because I always forget to mention those things. It'll be like the end of the video, and I'm like, oh, yeah, there was some stuff I needed to tell y'all. So I want to take a little moment to do that. Um, I'm curious, how did you like when you heard that the retreat was going to be in El Salvador? How did you feel about that? And you can be honest, you ain't gonna hurt nobody's feelings.
I didn't know. All I thought about with El Salvador is the 80s and war torn, country. And I don't even want to mention 45, what he calls them, certain countries. And I was just like, all right, well, let me check it out. So I went to the school of YouTube and I started seeing all these influencers going to El Salvador. I'm like, this beach town is nothing like I would think that it would. I was thinking it was a place of political unrest and just, and it's nothing like that. Definitely not El Tunco where we were. um, the educational piece of the retreat was spectacular. The food, oh, just wonderful. But just I was really shocked at, for one, it's very, very affordable. But it was just beautiful. It's just a beautiful surf town, and I had no idea that people go there to surf. There were surfers from all over the world there.
Yeah, it I think there is something like, again, Ivana and I have ideas about like the changes we want to help the retreaters make, but the setting of being there in a place where these are people who are reclaiming their own identities as Salvadorans at the same time, plus there is the community that you're creating. You know, I don't know about your situation, but something I hear from a lot of women is they're trying to change their life radically in some way, whether it's leaving a relationship, because I know what kept me married for a lot of time is folks would be like, oh, but he's a good man, he got a solid job, blah, 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 despite the fact that I was dying inside. So there are a lot of us who are trying to make these changes, but there's not really anybody in our immediate life who can like support us through that.
Mhm.
And so I think that's another great thing about the time at Reclaim is you're there connecting with other folks who are making big changes to their lives, you know, and building your village, as Ivana and I talked about last week on the podcast, creating that village, uh you know
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you have people that have that are similar, and it's like you don't think that they exist, and it's just like, no, they're right here. There's a group of ladies that feel the same exact way that you do, and it's wonderful validation. You know, whoever goes on Reclaim Retreat, let me tell you something. you are in for the time of your life. It's going to change you. It's going to help you. It was just a beautiful experience, and I'd do it all over again if I could.
Sharice, who was also there, she say it activated her personal power and a plan for a life that I can swoon over. I love Sharice has a way of saying things that I just love. Okay.
Yes,
Um,
her.
Ivana has a good question.
Oh,
Have we talked about the tattoo party?
I got my first
She can see
tattoo.
her
Oh my god.
tattoo.
I got my first tattoo. It's little. It's 1111. I don't know. I'm into angel numbers. I love my tattoo. When I got here, my daughter was like, "You got a tattoo before I did." I'm supposed to be the one with
We
the tattoos.
we had a ball in El Salvador. Multiple ladies got tattoos. We all went. It was almost like a party, literally at the tattoo spot. Um, just so much joy and laughter and just a good time.
We
Just a
had a
good
good time, and
time.
I want another one over here now. So I don't know exactly when I'm going to do it, but I'm going to get a second one.
Yeah. Um, okay, I'm trying to go through the comments. Um, okay, we went through that one. Okay, I think we hit the comments or questions that I had marked. If y'all have, oh, there was a question here, okay, about how you're managing your high blood pressure. Um, you know, I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Yeah. One thing that when I did start juicing, because I kind of fell off a little bit, and you don't have to juice, you can just get beetroot powder. I'm into a lot of natural remedies if possible. I do take a very low grade losartan. Um, I just have to take it. The water pill is gone, so only the little bit of losartan, but beet juice and beetroot powder juice is really fantastic, and really just I've added a lot more raw foods into my diet, and yoga and meditation, just keeping up with it, that's helped me with my high blood pressure a lot, you know. Or even just taking walks. I know it doesn't sound like much, but it makes a big difference. And take meditating, like if you're feeling that stress come up on you, take 5 minutes, especially if you work from home. Take 5 minutes, do a quick meditation. I use my favorite app is called Breathe. I think it's Breethe. I know a lot of people have Calm, and that's another thing. My company pays for Calm too, but Breathe is fantastic. I've gotten into a lot of herbal teas. I'm kind of thinking I'm being pushed toward learning a lot more about herbs, and I see Auntie Lou talking about hibiscus tea. Um, I'm still kind of experimenting on different things. I haven't had any problems, had any issues. I haven't had to have any checkups. I feel really great. Lots and lots of water. My sleep is fantastic. But I cut out coffee. So when I got back, remember I love going to the coffee shop in El Salvador. That was my whole little thing. Every morning I would go get my iced coffee, sometimes a dirty chai, which is like a chai tea mixed with espresso shot. But I cut it out, so I cut the caffeine out. So that's helped a lot with the high blood pressure.
Um, I was just wondering, did anybody like did anybody notice the changes that you've made since the retreat?
Yes, it's definitely my sister, and it's rubbed off on her because my sister has type 2 diabetes, and she's been off a couple of medications from all the changes because she's now straight total vegan. I'm very proud of her. She's vegan. She's lost weight, and yeah, it most definitely my sister because she's right here with me. And my daughter came by yesterday, and she's like, "Mommy, you look different." I'm like,
love it. I love it. I
She was
love it.
like, you go into the rooftop party on Friday, you may catch you one. I'm like, I'm not trying to catch one.
Didn't you almost catch one in El Salvador? Somebody help refresh my memory.
I mean, I had a friend, me and Ivana were out. That was me and Ivana all late out, just closing the club down. He was real cute too. So like, I have a place here and one in Italy, and you can come visit me. And I was just like, okay, it's nice to be, flirted with, but that wasn't gonna go anywhere. But it's always nice to feel uh wanted.
Yeah, I think Sharice had a comment here and I didn't mark it. But yeah, like
Because Stephanie was like, you got to call your boyfriend and tell him that you're gonna be on the mountain tonight. I'm like,
and was okay. Were you that part of you, that side of your personality? Was it seeing much of the light of day in your regular life before you came to the retreat?
no, nope. I pretty much work. I don't go anywhere. I'm in Atlanta. There's so much to do. I love live music. I wasn't doing anything. And I'm just like, why do you just work and then you stay in the house and you may watch some TV and you're not doing any of the things that you love? So no, I wasn't doing anything. So it kind of sparked something for me. I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to go and do some things. I want to get out and meet some more people. So when you go through a divorce, it can be a hit to your confidence. No matter what the reasons are, it hit my confidence anyway. And so I just was like, I'm not dating. I don't want to date, whatever. But now, yeah, who knows? I mean, I'm open to it, but I'm not. It's not what I'm looking for. If it happens, it happens. But I'm not really worried about it.
Yeah, no, Lisa was the life of the party. And it was incredible to watch the transformation happen over the week. Um, because again, like I said, looking at Lisa, you never know. She is her age. Her and Ivana, because y'all know I'd be in the house, I'd be asleep. But they were out enjoying the good times that there are to be had in the area we were in El Salvador. Uh, she caught the attention of interested gentlemen callers, and like if there was something we were going to do, Lisa was like, I'm fully in this, whatever it was we were asking, I'm fully going to embrace this. And it is just incredible to see like the results of that. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I'm feeling really good. I mean, it really did change my life. I'm so humbled when I think about it. It's like, just if I hadn't have went on that retreat, would I even be sitting out here? Because I went and got all this stuff from my storage, and it's just, this beautiful chase is just sitting there, and I'm just collecting dust. But I can be out here enjoying nature and just relaxing, and just, I got my music back there too if I want to. And these are things that I just wasn't taking advantage of.
Well, y'all know how I feel about owning things and not using them, or owning things and telling yourself, I'm going to save that for a special occasion. Every day is a special occasion. If you are here and you are breathing, that is an occasion enough to celebrate and do something special.
And you know what I also did? I took my $300 pillows there on the couch. I'm like, my sister, I'm like, we don't use these pillows. So I took them out of storage. We use them $300 pillows. What they just gonna sit in storage for? And don't
There
ask
we
me
go.
why I paid $300 for pillows. They've been, I've had them forever. But we
It doesn't
using those
matter.
blue ostrich feather pillows. I have no idea. I just thought they were pretty. So
Well, if they're ostrich feathers, that makes sense. But think about if they're sitting in storage and then you ultimately do move abroad, it is quite possible that they won't make the journey. And
yeah.
so then they would have been there and not been used. You wouldn't have been able to get the joy from them.
Right. So what's the point? So that's why so when I emptied out. So since I'm going to be here at least another year, I emptied out my storage and started using the things that were in there. you know,
I didn't know this before she said it, but I love it. I love it.
because I was paying 130 and it was probably not even a third full, and that just didn't make any sense. Like, I'm going to use all this stuff and sell what I'm not using or give it to my daughter. So that's what I did.
Yay. I love that. I love that. And I think it is really important to, even if you're not where you want to be, like where the ultimate goal is, whether that's moving abroad, whether that's taking the sabbatical, or whatever the thing is, there's no reason you can't make the life you have in this moment as good as it possibly could be, as as fun, filled with as much ease as you can, like whatever. There's Be selfish.
Yes.
Be selfish.
Take advantage of everything. Like, I wasn't like the perks at my company, I'm taking advantage of them. You know, I didn't used to. I'm just like, oh, okay. No, not anymore ever. I will never not take advantage of that because people don't get that. And doing the things that I really love to do and just taking the time to just sit out here and read a book when I feel like it. And just a nice, beautiful cup of tea. Somebody asked earlier who was the Stephanie I was talking about. Her name is Stephanie Sinclair. She also owns LaRue something, LaRue 180. I think she has these teas. They are so good. Like, it's the best tea that I've ever had. But she started doing something for Bridgerton, and you, if you want some really good tea, she has great teas. But I'm just feeling a lot happier. I'm feeling like I'm thriving. I feel younger, you know. And I'm just gonna keep being selfish.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. What did, well, wait. Cherie said that Lisa Spark in El Salvador was contagious. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's what, like, Ivana and I are the hosts and the facilitators, but we got so much out of the time we spent with y'all because it was like, vibes feeding off of vibes, and all of that. It was just incredible. I'm just
It was a very
global.
thoughtful, planned out retreat. Very thoughtful. Everything, like every single event, so to speak, everything that we did was just thoughtful, and it was just done very well. I loved it.
I'm very glad to hear that. When it was all over and done, we very much felt like we gave y'all the experience that we wanted to. And, it's one thing when you envision something, it's another thing when it like plays out and we're like, yes, this was supposed to happen. And it was great. It was great. Uh, Quinn talking about, I'm trying to shut down all the storage units. I am. I am, because why are we owning things that we are not using? I mean, and I grew up with a storage unit. My mother had one, and I think about all the years that she paid to store things that she never saw, she never used. And like, why are we doing that? Why are we doing
Mhm.
that? So
And then
yes, I am.
you see this door behind me. That's where the other extra stuff from storage went, right there, without
I,
having to pay for a storage unit.
yeah, I think a lot of our belief about whether or not storage is like acceptable and all that, it's very much tied to the consumption that is necessary to keep American capitalism going. And I think as we start to get intentional about the lives that we want to live, we'll find out that that doesn't serve us and we don't want any part of that. So, yeah. Uh, Global Granny says, hit the like button. I think you should do that. Lisa mentioned how she was watching the other Stephanie, and then the YouTube algorithm fed her to Stephanie Perry and gave her Rashida and gave her me. Your likes will do that for somebody else.
Mhm.
You telling YouTube that you like this video or you like some of my other videos, that helps refine their ability to show this to other Black women who are looking to get free. And I'm trying to free up everybody. So
Yes.
let's definitely do that. Um, if you have not seen Rashida Dow's video, the vlog she did about us cleaning out her storage, there are, if you are somebody watching this video right now and you're thinking about, I got some stuff in storage, there are two videos you need to watch. Both of them are on Rashida Dow's channel. One of them is back in February, probably, when we were actually there cleaning out her storage unit. I think it's something about like things I wish I knew before I paid for storage. And then last week, she posted a follow up vlog of like actual footage of us cleaning out the storage. I think if you have storage or you're contemplating storage, I think those are two very good videos to check out. And that will help you kind of reassess what your next move should be when it comes to that. Um, I'm just going back to see if I missed any comments there. Okay. Um, what would you say to the old Lisa from like 4 or 5 months ago, or whenever it was that we did that live with Stephanie, um, who, let's say Lisa was trying to figure out, should I do this? What would you say to that Lisa, knowing what you know now, experience what you've experienced? What would you say to that version of yourself?
I would say, Lisa, no matter what, you have to do reclaim the retreat. No matter what, you've got to do it. It's going to change your life. It's going to change your perspective. And it did. And it still is. It's still happening. Things are still happening.
I
And
know we're only 3 months since the retreat.
yeah, and I can see it. Like before, I couldn't see, like when you think, okay, I'm going to start saving money, and by this time, I'll be able to take a sabbatical or move abroad or whatever. But I can see it now. So I'm visualizing that, like I visualized being on Reclaim Retreat and being around all you guys. When I wrote that, when I answered the question and everything, I was visualizing. I'm like, I think I need to be there. I think I need to be around these ladies. So now I'm visualizing what that's going to look like in my life. What taking a year off just for me, or whatever it ends up being. I don't know if it's going to be a year off or if I'm going to work and then just not go back to a regular 9 to 5 job again. But I can see it. So I would tell Lisa, no matter what, you need to go on this retreat because it's going to change your perspective in so many ways.
Okay, I love that. I had no idea how you were going to answer the question, uh, but I love that. Uh, Adelia, not the Harriet Tubman of Black Women's Eve. Y'all, now, okay, I get, as y'all can imagine, when so much about the content on this channel is specifically geared toward Black women, I inevitably get the comment about, like, why just Black women? Or I'm not Black, I'm not a woman, blah, blah, blah. Uh, this is free stuff on the internet. Anybody who wants to learn, to hear these stories, to grow from, y'all are welcome to do it. But who am I always going to go hard for? Is Black women. And being able, like, I've been to the other side I want to bring as many folks with me as I possibly can. So yeah, I I I want Black women to be selfish. I want them to live a soft life. I want them to be free. I want them to rest. I want all of it for all of y'all. Uh, and so I'm like, I don't really believe in like having a life's purpose and all of that, but I definitely enjoy helping everybody get free. I definitely do. Okay. I don't have any other questions. Um, I don't see any other questions in the chat. If you have been holding on to a question and you were trying to figure out the right time to ask, this is it, because we are going to let Lisa go and let her enjoy that beautiful space that she has created out there. Um, but yes, I'm always going to prioritize Black women. Um, so yeah, so if you've got a question, this is the time uh, to drop it. I don't know if there's anything that you want to say, Lisa. Um, you know,
Um,
to the folks watching this, to I don't know, folks watching on the replay, a Black woman who maybe is just now starting her Googles and trying to figure out like how she can make big changes in her life. I don't know.
um, Especially to the women that are over 40 or over 50, it's not too late. Just go for it. Start now. It's okay. You don't have to worry about anything that happened before. Once I feel like once you align yourself with the universe, it's the universe gonna make it happen. I mean, we all know the alchemist and everything, but it really does start happening without you even making that much of an effort. So it's never too late to gain financial literacy. It's never too late to choose yourself. And there's a tribe out there for you, and it's probably this one.
It is, there was something you just said that I wanted to say something about, and my brain is struggling these days. You said it was never too late. Oh, crap. I
You're never
lost
too
it.
old.
And yeah, your tribe is out there.
Yep.
It really is. You've just got to, you got to do a little looking for it. That's all.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. I cannot express, I don't think, adequately my gratitude for you agreeing to come on here and share your experience. Um, Again, if you are interested in experiencing Reclaim the retreat for yourself, um, get on the wait list. We are literally days away from emailing the wait list, the dates and locations for the 2024 retreats. Um, so if you are remotely interested, because I really I really don't believe, because here's the other thing. Y'all know I am a horrible capitalist. Um, Ivana and I, as we were working out logistics and we were chatting with our logistics partner, they were like, well, if y'all would up the number of people who can come. And we're like, no, it will be an intimate experience. So, like, there's only so many retreats we're going to do. There are only so many people, so only so many spots we're going to have. And we are going to release that information to the wait list first. So if you are even remotely interested, you want to be on the wait list so that when once it finishes that email and it goes out, you will be the first to get it. If The particular area of financial literacy that you would like some assistance with is investing. You are a novice, like, I have not done anything, I don't know anything. This challenge is for you if you're a Black woman. Um, if you are somebody like Lisa who has a 401k, there's stuff in it, but you don't really understand what that stuff is or what it's doing, this challenge is also for you. If you're like, I want to trade cryptocurrency, this challenge is not for you. I am not for you if that's what you want. But if you want fundamentals to understand and like somebody to help you get over that hump of making that first initial investment, you might want to join the challenge. It starts next month on the 16th, I think it is. How do I make that go away? Okay. We have one last question. Um, what's next for you, Lisa?
Um, what's next for me? I'm kind of in saving mode and planning mode, so I'm gonna reassess where I am around this time next year and decide if I'm gonna do a sabbatical for a year or if I'm just gonna grind it out a little bit more. Even though I hate that word, and eventually just not work for anyone and just do me. But I am planning on doing something with Vibracious Life. So it's just an Instagram, and there's no posts or anything like that. But people are asking me if I could share like my juicing and different vegan recipes that I make for my sister, especially what has helped her with her diabetes, and my and immune support for my nephew. So I'm thinking about starting to share some of those things on Vibracious Life, just so that may
I
be
think you should share something tomorrow. Like,
okay.
when you just take a picture. I mean, you got your cell phone right there. Just take a picture and post. It doesn't have to be perfect.
I can, and I have great stuff. Like I make wonderful smoothie bowls and stuff like that. And I juice. I've been juicing since 2016, 2017 into 2016. So it's like second nature to me. So
Okay.
I'll start sharing some of those.
All right. So what y'all need to do, you're watching this now or you're watching this on the replay. Go to Instagram and follow Vibracious Life so that Lisa gets that little extra nudge for her to just post a picture. Like, it doesn't have to be this whole thing, right? It doesn't have to, you don't have to make reels and where you dancing around and pointing at veggies. You ain't got to do all that. But just post a picture. Tell us what you made. So y'all go follow her on Instagram. So she won't feel like disappointing all of her new followers.
Oh, I will do that.
All right. All right. Uh, Thank y'all for coming to hang out with us tonight. And thank you again, Lisa. And I'll be live again next week. Oh, wait till y'all find out what we're talking about next week. You're gonna like it. You're gonna like it. Okay.
Great.
All right.
Thank you, Adele.
Good
And
night.
I love you